Councilmember Shropshire, Councilmember Robertson, Mayor Pro Tem Renee, present.
Present.
Okay, Councilmember Bailey, Councilmember Cummings, Councilmember Cook, Councilmember Butler, and Councilmember Gordon let me know she would not be in attendance. Mayor Pro Tem Renee, we have a quorum.
Okay. And listen, Councilwoman Shropshire is here. Let her be accounted for. All right, Pastor Rusty Couch, is he present? Let's please all stand for the prayer and the pledge of allegiance.
Lord, we come before you tonight and we thank you for this body of men and women and our mayor who are giving their time and efforts in service of our community. Lord, I pray that you would bless these proceedings and help them to work together, Lord, to make our community a better place to live. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Allegiance to the flag of the
Thank you, Pastor Rusty Couch. He's from Jefferson Avenue Baptist Church. We appreciate you. All right. Announcement, Sergeant of Arms. Thank you for standing in. I appreciate it. And we also have the chief with us as well. Presentations and announcements. City Clerk, Madam City Clerk, do we have any at this time?
No, ma'am.
All right. Committee reports. Do we have any committee reports? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Councilwoman Shropshire.
Thank you. Every year we do autism. It is Autism Month, and the city lighted up blue. We join in with the Zeta Phi Betas to do that. So if I could just remind the city to light the buildings up blue for Autism Month.
Absolutely awesome. Thank you. And also, our mayor, Dina Holiday Ingram, is out of town on business. Job related, I do wanted to let you know that and to let you know her presence is missed, has been missed. Committee reports. Are there any committee reports?
Madam Pro Tem, a very compressed one. I just want to mention the fact that normally by today, the city manager would have received the budget variance reports, and I think he's going to get them between now and Wednesday. The other thing, if he permits me, I want to mention is that our new auditing firm is on board. They have started to work. Some of us have been privileged to have been interviewed by the new auditors. Keep in mind that they are rushing under the gun because we need to finish fiscal year 21. And within seconds after that report is complete, they will start on fiscal year 22 and try to have that all done by this summer. The reports that I mentioned earlier, like I said, we should get those, I want to say by Wednesday of this week. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Any human resource committee, any reports? Okay. All right. So
Madam Mayor, I would like to make a motion that we approve the city council regular minute meetings from March the 20th.
sorry. Do we have any public hearings? Sorry. All right. Public comments. Do we have any public comments for tonight?
We have 2 public comments this evening.
Okay. All right. Public comments comes from Chapter 2, Section 2 2002. Rules 28. The public may speak during public comment section of the agenda. Speakers must complete a comment from prior to the start of the meeting. Subject may include any subject of choice. There will be a 3-minute time limit for each speaker. Speakers that have assigned up to speak may give all or part of their time to another. 3 minutes to another speaker for a total of 6 minutes of speaking time. Speaker may address the council only once during this time of the agenda. Speaker must identify themselves and their address prior to speaking. Questions from the speakers may not be addressed during the public speaking section of the agenda. East Point residents will have priority over the speaker. There will be a total of not more than 60 minutes for public speaking section of the agenda. Speakers may only address the presiding officer. Speakers shall observe the rules of decorum. No debate, no disrespect, no obscenities shall be tolerated. Presiding officer shall rule any such individual out of order that fails to comply with the foregoing. Madam City Clerk, can you call the first public comment?
Up first, we have Dr. Martin Rogers.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Dr. Martin Rogers, 4656 Parkway Circle. I'm here tonight to advocate for 2 top priorities, the first being the Heritage Park subdivision. We need assistance of public safety as it relates to the new homes that have been constructed in my neighborhood. 10 of the new homes are occupied by violent squatters who have terrorized our neighbors and vandalized our property. My neighbors are afraid to call the police or leave their homes without being terrorized. No one should have to live in fear in their own home, but especially in their neighborhood. We need an additional arm of the police department besides code enforcement. This department should have the ability to address dwellings that are unsafe. We also need a policy that holds landlords and management companies accountable if their properties become a nuisance to any neighborhood. Anyone who falsely and forcibly takes ownership of a property should not have rights. What is the difference in squatters' rights in Alpharetta, Georgia, and in East Point, Georgia? The second priority is my request for trailers or the reopening of the fire station on Washington Road, where fire station number 3 is no longer in existence. I live in the southernmost part of the city, and there's no fire personnel that can arrive in less than 18 minutes to Heritage Park, Savannah Walk, Summerled Trail, or Sun Valley, not to mention the businesses in the Camp Creek Marketplace or either of the hotels in the area. My tax dollars afford me the opportunity for this basic service. We deserve accommodations to be made. The irony in this situation is there's a member of council who has firsthand knowledge of fire safety, yet she has not made an attempt to use her voice to advocate for the people. However, a few weeks ago, she vilified Wednesday Wind Down, only to turn around and use the same vendors to perform at her city-sponsored events. Make it make sense. Then there's the issue of the Easter egg hunt, which was not brought to a work session, voted on by council, which also gives the appearance that she gave staff a directive and most likely has not paid to utilize the park. Lastly, I want to thank the NAAC president, Mr. Richard Rose, Vice Presidents, Attorneys Griggs and Councilmember Renee, DTL Aura and Associates, Councilmember Shropshire, Sergeant Bridges, Tri-Cities and Westlake High School's teachers and students for commemorating Bloody Sunday on the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, Alabama. Thank you for your time.
Up next, we have Ms. Marie Terry, and she had time given to her by Eric Brooks, so she'll have 6 minutes.
Good evening, Marie Terry, 2055 Sylvan Road. I gave the clerk some pictures for you guys to look at, and the pictures are numbered. I've been here January 16th and the 17th of 2023. I came back February the 7th of 2023 with updates. Now, picture number 1 is Willingham Drive where the stop sign was missing. on the 31st of March. But they did put it up. They put the stop, and I want to thank Public Works for that. That's in Egan Park. Very dangerous street. When you go to Willingham and Bachelor, you got to come off of Bachelor to get on Willingham. Then you got another one that I give to you guys, back on the same dates. If you look at it, it's picture number 2 on Merlin and Willingham. That's where that business has his cars parked at, and this is very, very dangerous. I brought this to you guys' attention back in January and February. Again, these pictures I'm showing you guys is in Egan Park, where one of our councils do stay. So this issue here with this business, and you can't see when you drive out from let me get it right, from Maryland and Willingham, that's an accident waiting to happen. You go to the next picture, the same street, pollution, you holler pollution, environment unsafe, you got all this junk wasting down in the storm drains. And we know some of the workers are driving this area. Why can't they have some type of sheet or what type of street they're on, so whoever department it goes to, they can address that department? Now, this is in Egan's Park. Picture number 3, you know, we had a lot of problems, Chief Buchanan, all your city councils with Central Avenue, Bachelor, Pennsylvania, all those streets over there in Egan Park. These cars are still parked on the grass, and they're parked right by the sign that says no parking. That's a problem. They're wrecked, no tires, something got to be done. Again, this is still in Egan Park. The next picture, number 3, is also in Egan Park. I was coming up Bachelor on the 1st of April. When I was coming up Bachelor across Willingham, I couldn't turn. I couldn't get on the other side, the right side of the street, because this big red tow truck there. So I pulled directly in front of him. He still didn't move. I couldn't go anywhere because the cars over there are parked on the wrong side. You either got a sign that says, do not park on this side of the street, or you got a sign that says, don't park on the other side. But there's no sign. The business owners in that location are in violation of our city ordinance. We must enforce our city ordinance. Chief Buchanan has cleared it, but this here is still in Egan Park. That tow truck, Angelo's Towing, we must do something about Central Avenue. Picture number 3 that you see is what's going on. Picture number 4 is still on Bachelor and Willingham. I came up the street to see the garbage can waste management. He pulled up, then another car pulled around me, and this it was on the 1st. On the 1st. He pulled around me. I couldn't go anywhere. He couldn't go. We both couldn't go anywhere because the big waste truck is right in the middle of the streets. You can't go left. You can't go right. Y'all need to do something about that. Those business owners, we want them to do business, but at whose expense? This here should not be happening. Y'all should be doing your job. Newly elected officials, you stay in that area. You need to watch your area, because as stakeholders in this city, we are all stakeholders. We want you guys to do your job. And you can't do your job in 8 months' time. You got to know the area. And this here was shown to me by a resident over on Carter Circle off of Stanton. What is this? That's the sewer. Look how it's pouring into over there on Stanton Road. And then she said that East Point did come out, and they said, was it on the map? I'll assure you it's on the map, it's just old. This just old. This is sewage. Been doing that for years. The smell, y'all need to do something about that. 1749. It's on the back of your picture. 1749, and 1751. Please go over there in that circle and do something with that. Then again, newly elected official. You guys need to walk these neighborhoods. You guys need to walk. And I see that once you've seen, I did click fix it. You gave it to Mr. Thornton. You gave this to Mr. Thornton. So I did get in touch with some people. This here needs to be fixed because it's environmentally unsafe. Very unsafe. And I see that you guys have made an appointment for April the 12th for all residents to come out to ask questions. You notice all y'all guys doing is talking. I'm tired of talking. I'm an action person. Stop talking and do your job that you were set in election. You can't do it in 8 months. It ain't to be done in 8 months. It's not. And then again, I appreciate your workers coming by asking me, was they clean up in my area? One thing about the workers of this city, y'all gonna have them treat them equal. If a woman got a position and she raised up to that position, the man, give her that position. And there's no buddy system. We're not gonna be hiring kinfolks and raising them up. Treat all employees the same, whether it's pay raise or not. If they make it to the top, give them that pay. Please give them that pay. Y'all need to do your job, people. And this still needs to be done. That pollution, y'all need to get on your job. And you need to walk your city more than what you're doing. I appreciate the cleanup, but that wasn't good. That wasn't good enough. Do your job. You're elected, so do your job. Thank you.
Those are all the public comments we have this evening.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk. First agenda item, Finance, Water, and Sewer. Mr. City Manager.
Good evening, Madam Mayor Pro Tem and council members and our guests this evening.
Madam,
We're
you
going
gotta
to
open the floor for discussion.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can we have a floor for a motion?
Madam, I was getting ready to do it, but you took it. I was trying to think, but you can go ahead on and finish.
It's hard.
Second.
The motion has been properly moved and second. All those who approve?
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, the floor is now open. Mr. City Manager, I'm sorry.
thank you again. Good evening, Madam Mayor Pro Tem and council members and our guests this evening. Melissa Echeverria, our Water and Sewer Director, will come forward and give an overview of this item. Melissa?
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and council members. So today, we have an ongoing program, the EPA Workforce Development Program. We just recently had a graduation, so we're excited to have those graduates. And so part of that continuation is the support of Clayton State University. So here is, for the next two cohorts, we're requesting the MOU not to exceed $28,000 from the EPA grant initiative for workforce development training and professional development classes from the university.
Mr. Butler?
Madam Mayor, I make the motion that we approve the workforce training in the amount of $28,000 for the Water Sewer Department.
It's been motioned and properly second. All of those who approve? All those opposed? The motion passed.
Thank you.
All right, second on the agenda, City Clerk. I'd like to hear a motion to open the floor.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem, I would like to make a motion that council review and approve the IGA with Fulton County for the November 7th, 2023 election.
It's been properly motioned and second. All of those approve? All those opposed? I forgot to ask if there was any discussion, but the motion passed. All right, okay. All right, yeah, do y'all accept that? All right, let's see. Any comments from council? We are down to that agenda. Any comments from council? Okay. Councilwoman Starr, comments?
Thank you, Madam Mayor Pro Tem. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for attending the meeting this evening, those that are here in person and those that are out on social media watching the meeting as well. Ms. Terry, we heard you, and I do understand, we do understand your frustration, and we will definitely make sure that we do what you have tasked us to do, and that is doing our job to make sure that we keep our streets clean and safe. So I think we will all try and get everyone together and figure out what it is that we need to do. Because I know they do have workers, and they do go out and they're cleaning up. We're trying to get this stuff done. But just as soon, like you say, just as soon as everything is cleaned up, people come right back and they'll throw trash and things down like that. And I do understand. So we are going to, if we have to go in some sort of think tank to figure out what it is that we need to do that will, to kind of remedy the situation. And I mean, maybe if some suggestions that you may have, we definitely welcome those as well. I mean, but I do see the photographs here. They are unacceptable, and we will do better. Ms. Dr. Rogers, I do understand your concern with regards to your neighborhood, Heritage Park. subdivision. True, no one should live in fear. I don't know if these are, I know you said that they're squatters, so I guess we'll have to get Chief Buchanan in on this as well. I don't know, like I said, if these are actually, they're renting these homes or just people that just kind of just stepped in and they're now residents. And there shouldn't be any difference in squatters' rights that they have in Alpharetta and the treatment that they receive, what we have here in the city of East Point. So if there's an issue, we definitely want to make sure, we do hear your concern and we do understand. And we will do our best to make sure that we try and remedy that situation, because as you said before, no one should have to live in fear in their very own subdivision. With regards to the, I know a statement was made, and this is just a general statement with regards to the Easter egg hunt. That's not my event. I did not plan it. The only thing I did was volunteer to help. The only thing I did was I volunteered to supply candy and eggs for the event. It's not my event. I didn't have to ask anybody because there was not anything for me to ask for. I did reach out to Councilmember Renee as well as Councilmember Bailey to just explain to them just what it is that I've explained to everyone in the public here. And I also ended up giving eggs to Councilmember Renee for the event that they're going to be having in Martell Homes on Saturday. So, but I guess it's good if my picture popped up on something and I was thought of, but those statements that were made, they are untrue. So just know that I'm just here to support the event. It's not mine. I don't need any accolades or anything about it. Just wanted to support the event and be of service to the city, which is what I did. Also, so I do want everybody to come out for the Easter egg hunts they are having. It's going to be the kickoff of baseball season. And they're gonna kick it off this Saturday over at the baseball field. They're gonna start off with the Easter egg hunt. So Miss Terry, hope to see you and all your youngins over there at the Easter egg hunt. But it's gonna kick off the season, the baseball season. And they're also gonna have one in Martell Homes as well. So I want everyone to come out and support that event also. They're both gonna be on Saturday. So looking for a good time for everyone to come out for that. And also wanted to make sure that everybody also bring your blankets and baskets out and ignite your passion for jazzing at the Oyster Fest. It's gonna be a great event. We're gonna sit out, we're gonna have food trucks on site. Bring your favorite blankets and your baskets out and listen to some nice jazz music. We're gonna have performances by Tri-Cities and Westlake High School Jazz Band, Tiffany Good, McKinley Stinson, the PhDs, and our special guests are going to be Anthony David and Julie Dexter. It's an all-day event on Sunday. I'm on the 23rd. So I want everyone to come out and just enjoy yourself, listen to some good jazz music and enjoy some seafood. And final statement, I am a firefighter in the city of Atlanta, so I do understand the importance of making sure that we have emergency response in an acceptable time. So it's a concern, so please don't think that it has not gone, that no one is doing anything about it, but it is a process, and we are, the city manager and the police and the fire chief, they're all working to remedy this situation. We do understand that that is a gap that it does need to be filled. It was an immediate concern of mine when it happened, but it does not, as far as putting things into place, it does not happen overnight. It is a process that is involved in it, but please don't think for 1 minute that we are not holding it, making sure that it is a priority, and we are working on that. And we will, in the next week or so to come, we'll be updating the city with what our steps are with regards to that. Thanks again for everyone coming out.
Councilmember Butler.
Thank you, Madam Mayor Pro Tem. I will be brief so we can get out of here real soon. The first thing, I have two things to mention. I would like to first give a personal thank you to my colleagues as we all travel to Washington, D.C. to lobby on the city's behalf. I'm very proud of the actions that we took to meet with your Congresswoman Nakima Williams, and both your senators, John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock. It was the first time, well, we did meet with Isaacson once, but it was a very good meeting where we were able to lobby on your behalf, in particular about water issues and our water infrastructure and our hospital needs. And so I bring that good note, and I would like to end on a not so pleasant note. I want to give this passionate word that we need our young people to be careful. I will not be able to attend the festivities on Saturday, the 8th, because I will be attending a homegoing celebration for a young man in his 20s who suffered a drug overdose because he took fentanyl and he didn't know it. And this is becoming a systemic problem. There's too many people dying from fentanyl overdose. And just to be candid, drugs are very different today. You think you're taking one thing and you're taking something else and you're dead. And I haven't heard of so many young people dying from these drug overdoses until now. Fentanyl is an artificially made drug to stimulate, I guess, some type of opioid or something like that. So I'm just saying, please, young people, I know it sounds cavalier to say don't do drugs, but literally, you don't know what you're taking today. And you could think you're going to get a cheap high, and then it's the last thing you ever do. So thank you, Madam Mayor Pro Tem, for allowing me to have this time.
Councilman Cook.
Thank you, Madam Mayor Pro Tem. I want to make a couple of comments about the power outages that a lot of us experienced this weekend. With a word of caution, City Manager, this is not critical of how we responded, because I think under the circumstances we responded extremely well. But I realize too that we haven't had an opportunity in this fast pace the city is going through right now to deal with every major operation when there's not a problem. We had something happen this weekend, and I'm not going to get into details, but it caused a major outage of power to last for a very long period of time. I think some citizens didn't receive power until about 6 to maybe 8 hours. And as we look at what really caused the problem, I want to suggest that we spend some time looking at preventive costs. And what I'm trying to attack here is that we had something simple to cause the major outage. And based on how much money the city would have lost from the power being out, maybe we need to spend some time looking more at preventive measures as it relates to securing our substations. And since you and I have talked a lot about this over the weekend, you can fill in the blanks. But I'm thinking right now, while we don't have to spend our time recovering from a major tornado or some other weather-related issue, that we probably just call time out and let's look at how much money the city did lose because of power being out, and look at some additional prohibitive measures or protective measures for the site. And maybe we're going to have to make some investments that we really weren't planning on doing. Okay, it's sort of like, what does it take to stop a train? The wrong bird on the track. So all of our disasters aren't necessarily caused by major weather problems. They can be caused by some real simple things, but I think it's about time now, while we have a calm period, we kind of look at the other side of the moon to see if there's some other things that we could do that we haven't been forced to do. I think I need to quit now. Thank you.
Did a great job. Councilwoman Shropshire.
Thank you. Thank you to the speakers.
Sorry about that. They sorry about that.
Thank you to the residents who came out. Madam City Clerk, what I do want to look at is what we can do about squatters in communities. If they're still building that phase and there's no one living in the home and there's trash everywhere and the trash people are not picking up, it's not open for people to move in because they would have trash service. They would have every service like everybody else. But from my understanding, there's like bags and bags of trash all in the yards everywhere. That's squatters. It's not what somebody may think it is. It's people taking over vacant homes. And what I want the city to look at is what is John Creek, if they have a policy, whatever city has a policy that deals with this, how can we deal with it before it gets out of hand or before it moves in anybody else's community? Because they've talked about it on the news and it's a problem that's happening. So we need to deal with the issue beforehand, before it gets out of hand, by putting something in place and holding people accountable, holding landlords, whoever's supposed to be doing the property, start holding them accountable. Because none of us would want it in our neighborhood. We all have vacant homes, and we wouldn't want that. So we gotta be mindful of what is going on in the surrounding areas. Secondly, that, and I think the confusion for the Easter egg is the picture being on the flyer, which should have been addressed and said, hey, I have nothing to do with this, remove my picture, but that didn't happen. So the presumption is out there, which could have been cleared up. Thirdly, understand that the NAACP is having a Easter egg hunt as well.
No, it's Martell Homes.
That's when, yeah,
Martell
Martell
Homes is having
Homes.
one.
Okay, I don't mind donating eggs if you need it, and if you can share what time, I would, stop by. I don't mind, I support Martell Homes, NAACP all the time. I don't have a problem with that. Ms. Terry, we heard your concerns. Um, if I could see the picture where that sewage is coming from Stanton Road, that is a major issue. It's a problem.
It's the last one.
Okay, it's a problem that the city needs to look at and to see how can we stop it? What can be done to fix the situation? And on that, I'll yield. Thank you.
Councilwoman Bailey?
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I just want to talk a little bit about our experience being on the Capitol, speaking with Senators Ossoff and also Warnock, and also Nikema Williams. It was a great experience. We had an opportunity to just talk to them and advocate on behalf of the residents of East Point. Some of the things we talked about was funding for improving the water infrastructure, which was a resounding, I guess, as far as information, because we were able to talk about that improving our water infrastructure will impact other surrounding cities. And that was very impactful when we explained that our water, we actually provide water to College Park and other surrounding areas. And so improving our water infrastructure and getting the funding for that will be very, very beneficial, and they really heard that. We also talked about the health disparities in terms of the two hospitals closing, and at the same time, a new hospital is being built in Augusta. So we talked about the health disparities that we are experiencing, East Point residents, or all the residents south of 20 are experiencing, and they heard that, and then the unhoused and affordable housing. So got a lot of great information from neighborhood cities about what to do about, we've been talking about the banks taking over houses. We've got some information about that. We're going to be sharing that information coming forward. And then secondly, just want to give a shout out to our code enforcement, Reginald Meadows. He's constantly going to businesses around in Ward B and all over, specifically Willingham area, and citing those businesses. And I think at this point, Dewberry and that code enforcement team are looking at rising things up on the second level as far as that business being a nuisance. So that's been brought to code enforcement, Chief Buchanan's attention over and over about the businesses. I myself was trying to drive down Bachelor today and couldn't get down there and talk to the business owner, and then also reached out to the chief and reached out to Meadows today. So a lot of things are in the works, and I appreciate the fact that we're all working together on making sure that we have safety here in our city, all over East Point, not just in my area. I yield, Madam
Mayor Pro Tem.
Councilman Robinson?
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. In reference to the emails and the calls I think we've all been getting in reference to car rentals in over there on Sims, I want to make sure that staff hears this loud and clear, that we need to truly to do something about that. It's been going over close to 3 weeks. I've seen the emails. I respond individually to the emails. I think we're all getting them, but that has to stop. We got pictures. The residents are tired. They're putting a lot of pressure on us, which rightfully to do so, because we're here now to try to get some results. So staff, please make sure you follow up with council and the residents and figure out what's going on over there. In reference to the National League of Cities, what I want to say was, for me, it was more of a team building for council members because we really put aside everything and focus on the greater good of East Point. We moved as one. We had such a great time. Every colleague on the DIOS that um, came correct with a good heart, and they was truly focused on it. Mayor Pro Tem, you did a great job asking Warnock for $300 million in front of everyone, and it got a lot of people's attention. Councilman Butler, you did a great job when we was talking about to Nikema Williams initiatives on that. So I salute you. Bailey, Shropshire, we all were up there just networking and really focused on the greater good, and we were getting along fine. And it did my heart well to have us all just get along. So with the focus on East Point, only on East Point, no egos, nothing. It was a beautiful moment, and thank you all for that moment. In reference to here in the green team, we had to postpone because of the rain, so we will press reset, and we'll be doing the nature walk and the eco art wellness on Saturday as well at Conley Nature Trail. We'll be there from 10 to noon. So excited about that piece as well. And we did something different again. We did make a move and talk federal for the unhoused. We're trying to figure a way how to um, work together and collaborate. We don't have the ideas because the system is broken. The system is really broken. United States Secretary Marcy Fudge did a phenomenal job at the conference, and her and I had a chance to converse afterwards, and I drilled home the importance of East Point and some funding that we need. She's going to put us in her office, put us in touch with the HUD office here, and we're going to see and start a conversation to do better. So thank you for that. I yield, Madam Mayor Pro Tem. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm just going to say a brief thing because it was an oversight last week in reference to the Easter egg extravaganza at Martell Homes. In fact, it was a big oversight because I didn't actually order any candy, and I was really grateful when Councilwoman Cummings called last week and wanted to express her gratitude and offer some candy, some extra candies that she had ordered for the rec department who's putting on the Easter egg hunt, and offered some for Martell Homes, which really saved me because I totally forgot. And so, yes, I appreciate Councilwoman Shropshire, your gracious gift as well, because it's definitely needed. And I think our kids will really appreciate it. And I'll make sure that I tell all of Montel Homes that the council members donated candies for their event. I appreciate that. It was a great trip on Capitol Hill, the National League of Cities. I do want to say this, though. My heart goes out to the families at Nashville, the 3 young people, 9-year-olds that were killed, and the 3 staff members that were killed aside. So I think as we move forward, I think we all need to take a look at the drug abuse that around us in our communities and also the gun violence that leads us. We really need to really take a closer look and work together as a community and say something and help each other. It is, I don't know if any gun laws will be passed on the national level, but on the local level, what we can do is make sure that we pay close attention to each other and then also help each other move through our pain. So with that said, I thank the city council members, those who traveled to DC, Councilman Shropshire, Robinson, Bailey, Cummings, Stephanie Gordon, and Butler. It was a great trip. I thought it was a great learning experience. I did learn a lot in the classes and got a chance to talk to a lot of our colleagues and to express going forward how we're going to work together to help move this city along. And I think that was the most important thing that came out of that, our meeting together. It is a renewed spirit, and I really appreciate it. All right, so any executive sessions?
Now from City Manager, Madam Mayor.
City Attorney,
None from city attorney.
Clerk?
I do,
Okay, all right.
personnel.
Personnel, one personnel. Madam City Clerk, you don't bring executive session items, do you? Oh, you don't have them? Okay, all right. So we have one personnel item. Do I have a motion?
Motion to adjourn to executive session for one personnel item.
All right, so it's been properly moved in second. All those approve?
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, we are adjourning to executive session. Call the meeting back to order, please. Yes. Reconvene.
Reconvene.
Yes. Like to make a motion to reconvene. Okay.
Second.
Awesome. All right. Councilwoman Shropshire?
Madam Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the executive session minutes.
All right. The motion has been made and properly second. All those who approve?
Aye.
All those who oppose? All right. Councilwoman Shropshire? No, I'm sorry, Councilman, Mr. Cook.
Madam Mayor Pro Tem, it does seem a little odd, but I've double checked the time, I've double checked the agenda. I move that we adjourn this meeting for tonight.